Hi, I'm Brian Palmer, and this is Scribi Writer Studio. So this video is just about getting started quickly in Scribi. If you want to find other videos, you can find them on the website at plotfoundry.com/scribi/tutorials. You can also find these videos and articles in the Help and Resources tab up here. Anything that I post gets automatically pulled from the database and posted right here in the app itself. And then there are in-app tutorials that'll kind of walk you through some of the UI. If you want to reset those and go through them again, or if you skip them the first time, click right here, it'll reset them and you can go through them as well. When you first open up Scribi, you'll be on the dashboard. You won't have all of this. I've got some projects going on for other videos and for my own work. But the first thing you'll need to do is create a pen name. You can do that over here with the pen name button. You've got the form and you've got the optional wizard, which is just going to take you step by step through the form with some extra instructions and that sort of thing. I am going to skip that. The only thing you need to know about a pen name is that you have to provide at least a last name. So if you write under a single name like Madonna or Cher, then you would put that in the author last name. Here you can also upload your author photo, which goes into the About the Author book block, your logo, which can be used in a couple of different places, including the title page. Later on, when you have a pen name template saved, you have the option to just duplicate everything under a pen name. It doesn't duplicate any creative content, but for example, if you've got a romance catalog and it's got a great 12-book series or something like that, and you want to just quickly stamp that onto a new pen name, maybe to focus on a different subgenre, different tropes, that sort of thing, you can quickly switch on a template, select your pen name template, and go from there. It'll populate a lot of stuff for you. The template system is a big thing in Scribi. It reaches into pretty much every part of the application and is a way for you to quickly automate the process of setting up new projects and stuff like that. Down here, you got your author pitch. Now, this is a Readerling feature, so you don't have to necessarily use it if you don't plan on using Readerling when it comes out, but basically, Readerling is a platform that connects readers and authors. Readers are able to log in and then look for authors based on things like genre, tropes that are in their books, and so on. And the author pitch is what they will see as like marketing text when they see your specific profile in the search list, right? Author biography is something that goes on both your Readerling pen name page, which is free. You don't have to pay to get that created. You just have to activate your pen name on Readerling. But then also it goes into the About the Author block in the book block system. So those are what those two fields are for. And then when you're done, you just click Create Pen Name and you're good to go. The other way to do that is to right-click on the catalog and add new pen name. It'll take you through the exact same process. To create a story world, same thing. Click the Create World button, or you can right-click the catalog or a pen name if you want to add a world to that specific pen name. It also has a wizard. The only thing required for a world is that it does have to belong to at least a pen name, and then a world title that's required. After that, again, templates, world logo, description. The description for a world is reader facing on Readerling. So again, you can push your pen name, you can push your story world, you can push your series or a book, and then throughout Scribi there are places where you can add the text that readers will actually see. If you don't intend to use Readerling, then description can be used to give you or whatever AI assistant you might be using that ties into Scribi context on what that world is about. So that's really up to you how you use it. So we're going to cancel that. Series and books, they pretty much follow the same process. They've got to have at least a title, and everything has to belong to at least a pen name. So over here, you'll see in the catalog tree, I've got the BC Palmer pen name. St. Moreno is a standalone series. It doesn't really need a whole story world because I don't intend to write more than one series in that story world. So the series just belongs directly to the pen name. I've got my D&D campaign that I manage through Scribi. That's a whole story world because there might be multiple campaigns. My campaign notes I just made as a book. And then the full whack would be something like how we've got Lewis Carroll set up with the World of Wonderland, the Alice books, and then Alice in Wonderland. I haven't pulled in the other book to show how that works, but suppose that Lewis Carroll or someone else who wants to use that public domain property wants to write more books in the Wonderland world. That's a way to do that. That'll come into play a little bit when I show you the story-based system. Other stuff that you can find here on the dashboard, the sprint schedules here, you can define what kind of a sprint schedule you want, save it with a label, and then quickly use it whenever you want to do a 2-hour work session, a 4-hour work session, whatever works for you. When there are tasks scheduled, they show up here. These are just the tasks for the current day, and anything past due. The draft deadline, that's showing because I set it up for Alice in Wonderland to show the details panel in the project space. So when you have deadlines coming up, it's going to let you know. Your productivity, this is just an overview of what's been done in the last week, but you can click on it to get into the productivity dashboard. This is going to show you stuff about like when you tend to work. There's not a lot here now, but the more that you do in Scribi, the more data it logs for you. And that can help you figure out how long it actually takes you to finish different types of projects. This also ties into Readerly. Scribi doesn't track any words except what you put in through the keyboard. So it doesn't track copy and pasted stuff, or at least it distinguishes between those things. And then it doesn't track any words that are added by an AI assistant. So if you go into the settings here, and if you're using Claude Desktop, there'll be other integrations later, but right now Claude Desktop is the one that ties in until I get all the MCP tools sort of hammered out properly. Once I'm confident about that, I'll open it up to other types of tools. But in all of this, it accounts for things like words that are provided by AI through editing, for example. Now, that is not because I don't want people writing books with AI. That doesn't really affect me. I don't care. I don't do it. What I want to make sure of when I design this is that the data is basically just clean. I want you to be able to know how quickly you type, how long you type for, how long it takes you to finish things. When you introduce AI into that process, it can muddy the data a lot. So, but it does tie into Readerling. You will be able to activate a book on Readerling and then provide that productivity stuff if you want to. So that if you are, for example, not writing your books with AI and you want your readers to know that, then they can see a kind of provenance and they can follow along as you develop a work in progress or power through edits. There are lots of cool features there that are going to roll out pretty soon. And then you'll have a Readerling dashboard down here. This is going to track responses to stuff that you've posted to Readerling, who your followers are, other useful data and metrics. You're going to be able to have all that information right here in the app itself. Over here, we've got more than just the catalog. These are all your open projects accessible here in case you're not working the main dashboard view. Your scratch pad is what it sounds like. It's just a quick place to jot down notes that don't belong anywhere else. Scratch pads are ephemeral, which is to say that as long as they're here, they exist. But as soon as you delete them, they are gone forever. That's by design. It's basically just a means of, if you want to brain dump something really quick while you're out and about, using the Scribi mobile app, which is coming out pretty soon, along with all the other cloud features, you're able to just like take those notes and then when you're ready, do something with them, right? You don't always have to make a new project to do stuff, to bring your ideas in. You can import your books. You have the option to import either a single book or do bulk import. Right now we accept EPUB and DocX. When you import a docx file, it will bring in all of the comments and tracked changes, so all of those things are preserved. If you need to send your editor a docx file, for example, they get in the edits, you can re-import the edit, and that's going to make sure that you don't lose any of the edits that are in there, but also you don't have to start working in Word just because that's the format that your editor needed. When you do this, you're going to have to assign at least a pen name, but then you can determine where that goes, what order it's in. It'll try and pull a title, but you can always edit this. And then bulk import. If you are hesitant to adopt a new writing software because you have a huge catalog already, that is not a problem with Scribi. You can import an entire series of books, and it will intelligently parse them from EPUB or docx. The templates, this is the template library system. This is where any templates that you create will belong, but also these are all of the templates that are available from the cloud database. You don't have to have a cloud subscription to get access to this. It's just free and there. Everything that Scribi provides from the back end is going to be sort of educationally slanted so that if this is your first book and you want to explore things like genre and marketing position, for example, or if you want to do your world building for a fantasy world, all of these are written in such a way that they're instructional in nature, so it helps you learn the concepts as you go. If you're just getting started, then it's great to be able to have something that can kind of walk you through. Beat sheets are the same way. If you've heard of a beat system before, it is probably in here. And the way that these are adapted is also educational in nature, so that when you use one of the beat sheets from Scribi's library, if you're inclined to use beat sheets, then all of the beats are explained in such a way that it lets you know what it is that needs to be there and how to apply this system. It's meant to help walk you through it. You can edit and change all of that content if you want to once you download and use the beat sheet, or you can make your own from scratch. Story-based templates, there are none here just yet, but there will be some rolling out for different genres over time. I'll show you the story-based system in depth in a different video, but it can be a really complex system or a really simple system. It really just depends on how you want to work. Pen name templates, like I had mentioned before in the pen name form, there are none here now. I'll probably roll out a few of these. Mostly this is for your use, or if you import a script file from somebody else. Basically, you can stamp a whole pen name with a series and a number of books to get you really quickly started if you want to reproduce somebody else's success in terms of structure and resources. Maybe they've got a series of brainstorms, maybe they've got a great beat sheet, maybe they've got a formula that kind of like works really well, and you can really quickly reproduce that formula here. Story worlds, same thing, just one level down, right? So if we were to take the St. Moreno story world, it would take all of the story world based brainstorms, it would take the different series and books and that sort of thing, it would turn that into a template that we can just really quickly reproduce. There is a book series template currently. This is a 5-book romance series, so when I get to the template video, I'll show you exactly how this works. It comes with 5 books and a schedule that takes 145 days, and it's meant to just really like instantly get you going. This is the actual book template that this series uses, so if you just want to reproduce one of the books as a template, then that's here. Ebook templates are a little bit less critical now that I've changed how the ebook system works. But if you set up a style and a layout that you like and you want to be able to reuse that, then you can save that as a template and then apply it to any other book in your catalog. Or you can also export it as a .scrib file, share it with other people. There's a huge amount of customization in the ebook system that we'll go into. It gets its own video for sure. But once you have it set up, you can just copy it, deploy it over and over again. You don't have to rebuild every ebook every time. Your library is where you're going to see things that have actually already been published. The campaign notes never get published, really. But it's a quick place for you to see what is actually out there in the world. You'll see stuff here about, like, it'll list the store links, that sort of thing, so that you can quickly navigate around without having to dig through the entire catalog here. It's also going to have some controls that'll let you quickly re-export and update things. And then the export system, this is the book block system. You grab a book, you grab your book blocks that you want in there. You can save the styles, you can save the layout, or you can save both in one template. So if we want to save this as a default, for example, and apply it to all of just the Alice books, then the next time we write a book in that series, you don't have to come to this page at all, really. You can just click export and it'll use all of this template material to re-export a book that looks exactly the same. That way branding is really, really simple and straightforward, right? And that is pretty much it for the dashboard and getting started. The next video is going to jump into some of the project space. We're going to reserve that for now, but take a look at the other videos, and if you've got Scribi, you're going to be able to find this and others, again, here in the Help and Resources tab.